Hey guys, my name is Tom, and this is some Domination on Jungle. Man, it's been a crazy week. I started back work on Monday after a week off for spring break, and it was rough, kind of getting back into the groove of things. But this Tuesday is my birthday. I'm gonna be 27, and it's had me thinking about the past year and kind of all the cool things that have happened and all the things that I felt were stressful and kind of how I want to find myself handling those things in the future. Because for the longest time, kind of as far back as I can remember in my adult life, towards the end of high school, beginning of college, that kind of thing, I've always handled stress as in terms of luck. Like when bad things would crop up, I would feel that I was hitting a string of bad luck. And whenever good things would happen, I would attribute these good things to certain choices that I had made that had kind of boosted my luck, like in terms of odds and things like that. Of if I continue to use said bar of soap or use said deodorant, these good things would continue to happen. And I would get very OCD about it. I tend to be kind of obsessive compulsive about many things anyway, in terms of being a pretty hardline perfectionist, at least in terms of what I consider perfect. But with luck, it took me a long time to finally voice these fears that I would have with friends. And I know what really first brought it on was I think it was last year, on a Friday the 13th, I went to this performance at my school that I teach at, and the third graders were doing this James and the Giant Peach thing, and it was a lot of fun, and I was helping out, and my friends were kind of running the performance, and toward the end of it, when we were cleaning up, I broke a little handheld mirror, and internally I freaked out. So breaking a mirror on Friday the 13th. It just seemed like something big was going to happen. Like I was really, really asking for it, I couldn't concentrate on the rest of the cleaning up, and so I was kind of vocalizing this to them, and they thought I think they thought I was joking because they were kind of laughing about it, so I had Googled some things, and you find some ridiculous shit on Yahoo Answers regarding broken mirrors and what to do about them. And in my head, I was like, well, I'm actually gonna have to spend my afternoon getting a fucking shovel, and I gotta bury this mirror and blah blah blah, and then I said that out loud to myself and realized that it sounded pretty fucking crazy. So I remember I took the mirror home and I was just kind of wondering again, if I was really gonna go through this, or if I could just find the power within me to say fuck it and just make my peace with shit happens, whether or not it's Friday the 13th or not, and whether or not you've broken a mirror, and if little things like that could really have these permanent consequences on your life. And I had talked it over with the Lacanian scholar and Clay Aiken. I don't know if you remember them from earlier videos, and both of them, politely told me that there's no such thing as luck to them, and I tend to sway that way now. Of whether or not if bad things happen, it's not a string of good luck, and luck itself is a concept that it leaves too many variables that are out of your control, and that's why. Essentially we worry about these things. If you can't control it, that's what causes that fear and doubt and panic in you. And, the quicker that you can learn to let those things go and realize that you have no control over it, and, the best you can do is just, saddle up and take the ride. Because, I'm trying to think of another situation, Well, let's address this. Clay Aiken had taken it from. It's so funny saying Clay Aiken, but let's call him Patrick. Patrick had taken it from a religious standpoint, and and he himself, he's very religious, and luck and the concept of God did not make sense together with him, because in his eyes, God wouldn't leave so many things up to chance with you, whether or not you could, like a bar of soap or a lucky penny could make or break you, because it's just as easy to not find those things, or for that soap to run out, or for your lucky hat to get lost. And what kind of situation would you find yourself in then? It wouldn't be fair, or I guess the sign of a loving, just God, to leave that many things of chance to you. And Philip, he brought it from a completely different standpoint, because he's not religious at all, and he to him there was just too many randomizations. Things happen because they happen. The kind of idea of like of karma and this kind of karmic debt that can be acquired through actions, to him was purely social. We put these ideals on ourselves socially, in that if you treat people like shit and live a life of a criminal, or other things that are looked upon negatively socially, you are going to reap consequences of those. Whereas if you go around being nice and you're altruistic and yada yada yada, you will see benefit. And oddly enough, both make sense to me. I still struggle with myself on how I tend to lean religiously. I believe in God, but I used to be very terrified of him. At this point in time, this is where I stand. And now I'm not so much always terrified of him, but I've become very comfortable with the idea that I do the best that I can with the hand that I'm dealt, and that's got to be good enough, because there's a learning curve on everything, and I really can't spend my entire life kicking myself in the ass because I've made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes, and as long as I feel that you regret any mistake you make, or you're always wanting to kind of be bettering yourself, you're making the right choice. I think with the idea of punishing yourself over one misstep, or letting someone else punish you, whether it be the Almighty God or a friend or a lover, it's ridiculous, and it's wasted. If someone is going to hold something over your head for something you already feel guilt and shame about, they're not helping the situation. And if someone's wronged you and they've apologized, and you can tell that they feel actual shame, I would ask that you would show them forgiveness in kind as well. Because it's hard enough to make your peace with things. But that, guys, is the episode. It's a pretty weird one, but that's been on my mind lately, and it's been a great year. 26 was a great year, and I'm thinking 27 is going to be even better. I got some great content coming up from you guys. I'm about done with my next Let's Play, and as soon as I'm finished with it, I will pop it up for you guys, and expect some more Call of Duty soon. I'm coming up with some Call of Duty plans, and I hope you guys are having a great weekend.